Okay, right, this one's going to be an odd size once again. So we're going to make this one text. Getting a lot of odd sized ones today. So this one, I'm going to make this one black. I'm going to make this black and white for a change. Okay, I don't know how big it's going to be. It's a funny size, which I really... Sometimes I have big troubles with funny sizes, trying to get them to fit the page. Sometimes it's just so difficult. So we're not going to touch the bleed. I don't think we need to. This one's going to make it negative, and this one's going to be, there's not going to be much adjustments here to use. Set the contrast. I'm going to contrast it. We're going to sharpen it as we usually do. And with contrast, we use copy density. We don't use brightness. They don't work together. So here we go. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see how easy we'll make this one. This one here it's from Kinder Surprise. Kinder Surprise, Kinder Chocolate. Kinder Chocolate. Yeah, it's not one of those egg-shaped things, but it's it's one of them silly capitalism again. Using children to make money, which is really cruel. I think it's cruel. It's really mean and horrible, but it's how the men of this world, well, it's usually men. Men are usually the ones, and women don't get paid as much as men, which really sucks. In this day and age, it's not fucking 2010, it might as well be the 1800s. Fuck me dead. And capitalism is a primitive force that these rich fuckers use, and even children are not safe from it. These people who control the companies really like to rape everything for their fucking capitalist gain, and that includes hurting little children by making them want and need things that the parents can't afford to buy often, and the kids keep nagging the parents. Have you ever seen that happen on such a common... It's a common thing, and it's really sad because children should be allowed to be children, and adults shouldn't have to become fully grown adults. They shouldn't have to worry about money and how much it's going to last. They should be allowed to dream big and make their dreams come true. And capitalism doesn't fulfill dreams that well. It may fulfill the dreams for the perpetrators of capitalism, but it doesn't fulfill the dreams of those who are on the receiving end, who are the consumers. And it's really sad because, hey, and everyone should have enough money to spend on their dreams, on their desires. Thing is, we don't want to be obsessed with money. We don't want to worship money. We want to use money, and money can be used for good things like helping the poor or helping rebuild someone's house when there's been a house fire and the person couldn't afford insurance. It'd be nice if people could just help that person out with the insurance, where they can't afford insurance. I can't afford insurance. So if this place burns down, I'm in deep shit. Everything will be just fucking, I have to pay for everything. I mean, I'm not insured. That's a real pain in the ass. I can't afford insurance. So if my place burned down, I would really appreciate it heaps if I had a helping hand from people who are more well off than I am. People, it's like that. It should be like that. There should be a sense of community everywhere. Instead of everything being so expensive and so difficult, and people having to snuff out their dreams, trying to balance their budget from day in, day out, week in, week out, and so on. It shouldn't be like that. Things should be a lot cheaper, and there should be fun. Adults should be allowed to have fun. Just as much as children want to have fun, but why does it always have to be tied up with a commercial product? I mean, I really wish the world could be a more socialist kind of world, and that people can just be nice to each other and not be so selfish. And so, it's like the rich stick with the rich and the poor, well, they stick with the poor, but they're often isolated because they can't afford to travel on buses or go to a coffee shop to meet up with some friends, especially friends who might be a bit more well off. And I know my mum is not rich. My mum's quite poor, and she doesn't go out very often because she's trying to save her fucking money. And she spends all this time at home, and if I was her, it would drive me mad being at home all day. Horrible. And she doesn't have a working internet at the moment, but she's sort of a bit scared of the telco because telcos are often about money, and she's really scared of them, and she doesn't want to ring for maintenance, and she's still paying them money even though she's not getting a service. She's not using the service. She's too scared to ring them. She doesn't like the overseas call centres. The call centres should be on our turf, on Australian turf, not overseas in whatever country you find them. She doesn't like those call centres, and it turns her off. She can't understand what the fuck they're saying. No offence to the countries that are there that provide the service. She can't basically understand what they're saying, and it's taken away Australian jobs. You know, imagine all the jobs we could have if we kept our call centres on our own turf instead of sending it all overseas. I mean, seriously, these big companies, they're just so greedy because it costs less to outsource call centres. I really hate that. I mean, when I have a stabilising image, there we go, it says it. Now, it often doesn't say stabilising image, even though it sounds like it is. Well, this machine's full of flaws anyway. It's all about money and greed in the photocopier industry. Say no more about that, you could say. Now, we were going to do just a black and white demo, but I've decided to do some colour images. But basically, it's really a shame, you know. And this photocopier, parts-wise, will only be guaranteed for 5 years. So 5 years of spare parts for this machine, that's not good enough. I believe a photocopier's spare parts should be guaranteed for a decade, 10 years. But my vision of a photocopier is not just a machine that's artificially intelligent, that can think heaps for the operator, but it would also have to last 60 years because this is environmentally unsustainable, having all the energy and all the resources, including water, being used to manufacture a big piece of shit like this. Computers are taxing on the environment when they're being manufactured as it is. But one of these is a lot bigger than a fucking desktop. So you can imagine the resources being used. And I don't even know if this shit gets recycled at the end of its life. If it's a company like, if Konica Minolta are the company that's supporting the machine. I have a company called Mytronics who does this machine. And basically, I don't know what Konica Minolta do to them. So that's an interesting question. Does it get dumped in a third world country? Leaching chemicals into a stream and people are drinking it? Fuck me dead. That's a scary thought. But anyway, enough of that. This demo is prolongated. Gotta go.